Check this out, what we got today. Jace Tunnell here, and for today's beachcombing, we've got the Australian spotted jellyfish. This is something that we haven't seen in a while, or at least I haven't seen it. It's a true jellyfish, and so it's one organism, as opposed to like when you get the siphonophores, which is like the man-o-war, which is a bunch of polyps living together. This is a true jellyfish. Now, it's easy to recognize it because it's got a clear, translucent bill and all these white spots all over it. I have actually seen them when I'm surfing in the water come up to me, and they're like an orangey color, so clear to orangey. This is probably a small one. I'm guessing, you know, they live to be about a year is about how old they get. It depends on environmental conditions. They prefer warmer water areas. And so in the right conditions, they can be up to 2 foot in length across. So this one's probably just several months old is my guess. Now, these aren't supposed to be here. These are like the Western Pacific is where they're found. And so to be able to find them up on the Texas coast, which over the last couple of months, people have been saying, what are these jellyfish washing in with white spots all over them? Well, they're it's also called the white spotted jellyfish, but the Australian jellyfish, spotted jellyfish, now you know what it is. They feed on plankton, so they filter feed, you know, fish eggs and other plankton out. Now that is why they could be bad. They're considered invasive since they're not supposed to be here, and they outcompete with other organisms that are in the Gulf of Mexico. Like, you know, if they're taking plankton or fish food, you know, fish eggs, things like that, that's things that native species could eat. So these swarm, that's why they're bad, because they can eat a lot of food real quick. And so whenever you get a whole bunch of these washing in, you know that, you know, something's going on out there. How they move through the water is like a typical jellyfish that kind of pulsates, you know, moving its bell through the water, and that's how it's able to move. Now, it doesn't have a brain. It's more like a nerve net, and that's how they're able to keep stable, know which direction they're going. You can see here, if I hold it up, it's got oral arms that come off of it. The stinging, that's what most people want to know. Does it sting? I think it's a mild sting. You know, I got it on the back of my hand here. It's probably, out of a scale of 1 to 10, it's probably a 1, if even that. So it's not that bad. In the back of my hand, you know, that's the sensitive part there. Now, because temperatures are warming, it's a possibility we could start seeing more of these. You might think, how did it get all the way from the Western Pacific over here to the Gulf, off the coast of Texas? Ballast water. So we got ships going all over the world that take in water and release water, you know, depending on how they want to keep their ship, you know, balanced. So that's where a lot of this invasive species come from, and so this is one of them. Okay, can you eat it? Yeah, you can eat it. I bet you can eat pretty much anything, and they eat cannonball jellyfish, you know, all kinds of jellies. So this is another one that you could eat, but I don't think I'm going to try it. All right, I think that's it for this episode of Beachcombing. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.